Okay, so I thought it might be useful to explain a little bit more about GitHub, or about Git generally. So let's just, yeah, we can write some stuff here. So let's just clear that, make it a little bit thinner maybe, so I can write some stuff. And let's draw out what Git actually is. So when you've got, say, one person coding on their laptop here, and I like to kind of draw a laptop like this, and they're coding away. Now, they might discover that they want to share it with this person over here. And usually you can probably just email the code over, which kind of works okay if you've got two people. But what if you have three or four? And more importantly, what if you kind of work on, like you work on like a little bit of the code. Imagine you're building like a video app, say, and you're working on the bit that does the video, and then you're working on the bit that does the storage, and then you're working on the bit that does like handles like people's inquiries and stuff like this. I don't know, all sorts of different features of the code. Imagine you've got all these different bits of the code, and imagine you changing this bit, and then it kind of breaks, and you want to go back to this version that was back over here, behind that. You can't quite remember exactly what you did. So you want to keep multiple versions, and that's called version control. And so the best way to do that is with a version control system like Git. And what happens is you have one central Git repo. Okay. In fact, it's even cleverer than that. You actually initialize what's called a Git repo on your computer. Git, G-I-T. You initialize a Git repo here, and then you can send that to your friend, and then he can initialize the Git repo here, and he can do stuff, and you share it back, and actually can compare the changes and know where in your code you changed what, and you can kind of keep what's called a commit history. So you can actually say, okay, this is the version that was here, then it was branched off. I don't want that. I don't want updates. Go away. Okay. You could have like this is the version 1, then you went to version 2, and version 3 are different things that you're building, and each one is linked together, and then you can actually say, well, actually, my friend Bill changed it here, and he had a branch, he had a slightly different version, and then his version was working quite well, and then after a while we can do something called merge, and we can actually merge them back together and carry on coding together with a kind of a combined the best bits of both. Now that's getting quite advanced quite quickly, but that essentially shows you that you can actually save lots of different versions of your code in different states over time. So how do we do that? Well, to make it really easy, you might have a website that sits between the two of you on the cloud that might be called GitHub. And it's basically a place where you can store your Git repository, and everyone can see what different people are doing and where everyone is at. If someone's working on a particular version or someone's working on a particular feature, you can see that they're doing that. And each person basically initializes a Git repo on their computer, and then works on the code, and then does something called pushes up to the cloud, and then this person can pull down. So this is a push, and this is a pull. I'm doing this drawing just with my touchpad, so doing my best. So this is a pull with the arrow going this way, and this is a push. And then what other terms are useful? Initialization, push, pull down. I suppose on each Git repository, so you imagine this is a Git repo here, this is a Git repo that's in the center here, and when you push, it actually compares the two and tries to extract the best. When you pull it down, you're pulling it from this Git repo down to your Git repo. Now, something called a commit. Now when you're saving files, you save your file, you make changes, you might want to commit it into your personal repository. Okay, so that's actually a commit process that happens on your computer, and you need to understand that a commit is basically what happens when a new node is added to the time so you know, you start at point 1 here, then there's a new node added, you've committed a new state of play that's actually occurred, you've got more code added, and probably best to just show it actually. If I was to open up a browser window and go to GitHub, I can show you some cool kind of graphs. If we sign in, let's go to my repositories. There's different ones here. Let's go to like the Hangman repository, and you can see the network here where people have committed. You can actually see that, yo, me here, I committed, you know, like a whole bunch of stuff. At the same time, on a different track, someone else was committing this stuff here. And if we were to actually, oh, I didn't mean to go back. If we were to actually like go back through, you can actually see, well, actually these are all branched off from this commit back here. So Eric committed to this, and in fact, I think I actually branched it from Eric's, which you don't see very well. But someone else branched. Oh, we all branched together actually. We're all branched together, and we're all doing different bits and bobs. And this person here was committing something. He committed something here as well, and I was committing stuff. So we could, if we wanted to, branch these two. We could merge these two things together. It's kind of difficult to wrap your head around, and it's even more difficult to explain, I must say. But when you really understand it, it's actually incredibly simple. So I don't know why it's so hard to explain. I just obviously haven't got the knack of explaining it properly, but I hope that explains a little bit more about GitHub and Git. Anyway, cheers. See you soon. Bye.